What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching TF4 Talk. This is just a web series. We're talking about Transformers Age of Extinction. This is episode number 25, and in this video, we're going to do a top 10 list. And you're probably thinking, hey Alex, this is 2015 now. Why are we still talking about Transformers Age of Extinction? Transformers Age of Extinction was so last year. Well, actually that's true, but as a matter of fact, this is the third last video in the TF4 Talk web series that I'm doing. I'm going to do 2 more videos talking about Transformers Age of Extinction, just because there's a couple of more things that I want to talk about and discuss before we stop talking about Transformers Age of Extinction, the film. Alright, we're still going to talk about the toys because I got a lot of toys to review, but as for talking about the movie, we're going to talk about it a few more times in like the next 2 videos, and then afterwards we're going to talk about all new material. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so in this top 10 list, I decided to make this because a little while back, actually maybe a couple of months back, I can't even remember when, but I stumbled across a video from a YouTube channel called CinemaSins, okay? And the video was called Everything Wrong with Transformers Age of Extinction. So automatically I was interested in watching this video because I wanted to know what their opinion of what was wrong with Transformers Age of Extinction. I want to know what their specific list was, right? And then I started watching the video, then I realized it was all a joke. It wasn't actually a legitimate list of things that were wrong with the movie, like a list of like critical things, alright? It was just someone who was just poking fun at the movie. And I get that. I didn't get that at first, but I get it now, okay? Now, I wasn't familiar with this YouTube channel, CinemaSins, so I went into this video, I went into watching this video thinking that I was going to get a serious video, but I didn't. It was actually meant for humor, and I didn't know that. And because of that, I had no interest in watching it, and I left a little bit disappointed and decided to leave a comment which read, "Narrator is an idiot, stopped watching after 20 seconds. Okay? And I left it at that. Next thing I know, my YouTube inbox is flooded because there's a lot of people who disagree with me. Actually, there's a lot of people who agree with me, but there's also a lot of people who disagreed with me. Now, I stood by my comments because I was looking for a serious video, but I ended up with a humorous video. Now, if you're looking for something funny, then that's the video to watch. But if you're looking for a serious list of things that are wrong with Transformers Age of Extinction, like a legitimate list, you're not going to get that in this list. And that's why I was disappointed and wrote those remarks. I wrote that comment, alright? You know what? It's 2015 now, and I'm all about being positive and all about positivity and doing the right thing, so I'd like to do the right thing, and I'd like to sincerely apologize for making a comment like that. I want to go on record right now saying that I would like to take back my comments, because not only is it the right thing to do, but it's also good to be humble, okay? You know, not everybody is always right. I went into this video, you know, thinking that it was one thing, but it was an entirely different thing that I didn't know about, okay? So I'd like to take responsibility for my actions and sincerely apologize to everybody that I offended and everybody that I felt, everybody who got mad at me writing these comments, or typing these comments rather. I'd like to sincerely apologize for that and like to take responsibility for that. So I want everybody to know right now that I wrote those comments, okay? On that YouTube video, and I'd like to take it back. Okay. Now here comes the reason why I am the main reason. Now that you know the reason why I did what I did. Now I'll give you the reason why. Now you know the reason why I made this top 10 list, and that is to give you a legitimate list of things that are wrong with Transformers Age of Extinction. Okay, this is my top 10 list of everything that is wrong with Transformers Age of Extinction. Now, there's a lot of things wrong with the movie, but I've limited to 10 things, and I'm going to rank them, with the 10th thing being the thing that bothers me the least, to the number 1 thing that bothers me the most. Okay, now no film is perfect, and a movie like Transformers Age of Extinction is definitely not perfect, so I'll just list them right here, from number 10 to number 1. So here we go. Number 10, unnecessary explosions. This is a Michael Bay movie, and he's the king of explosions, and he's very good at making explosions and making explosive action sequences, but there was a few too many explosions, okay? Explosions went off from the ground when nothing actually hit it. There were no like projectiles hitting the ground. They just exploded for no reason. If you pay close attention to when Galvatron transforms and he lands on the ground, explosions were going off, but there was nothing actually making them explode. Along with the taming Grimlock scene, when Grimlock gets smacked by Optimus Prime, he flips, and then explosions were going off, but there's no reason for the explosions to go off. They just go off, okay? So that's number 10, and that is unnecessary explosions. Number 9, way too much product placement. Now, all films have product placement in them. Well, maybe not all films, but most mainstream Hollywood films have product placement in them. However, Michael Bay films are notoriously known for their product placements. Now, I first noticed a lot of product placement in his movie The Island. Okay, then afterwards Transformers, and then the Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon, and then now the reason why I noticed that there's so much product placement in it is because it is a co-Chinese production, and there's so much Chinese product placement in there just for the sake of product placement. For example, the Chinese protein powder, or the bottle of water that Li Bingbing drinks, or the Shuhua milk that Stanley Tucci's character drinks. There's so much of it, and not to mention all the cars that weren't even robot characters. They were just there. Okay, so lots of product placement, way too much to the point where it gets distracting. Okay, number 8, man-made Transformers. All right, this is blasphemy. Okay, Transformers are shouldn't be able to be reverse engineered. They're alien organisms. They're alien, like cybernetic, but also organic organisms. You know what I'm saying? So we've seen that they have green blood, and they should have an anatomy just like I wouldn't say humans, but they should have an organic anatomy as well, right? But they can do a lot of extraordinary things with the materials that they're composed of. All right, but for humans to reverse engineer them and make their own Transformers, I thought that was a little bit silly, but I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna let it go. But seeing what they did with them, I wasn't too impressed with that idea. Okay, I was open to it, but seeing what came out of it from the movie, I wasn't too impressed with it. All right, it didn't mean a whole lot to me. Number 7, useless human characters, and by useless human characters, I mean Shane and Tessa. Okay, like I said before, if you remove those two characters from the movie, it would be the exact same movie. Now you're probably thinking, what about the whole Tessa rescue scene? Well, why can't it just be an Optimus rescue scene and not an Optimus and Tessa rescue scene? Alright, so there you go. Useless human characters, alright? Number 6. This is something that a lot of the Transformers films are known for, and it's still a tradition even to now. Autobots disappearing. Where are they? Why are they never around when they're needed? When the Autobots are fighting Decepticons or bad guys, Optimus is never around. And when Optimus is fighting bad guys, the rest of the Autobots are never around. The same thing applies to Transformers Age of Extinction. He's fighting Galvatron. He needs help, obviously. They're nowhere to be found. Where did they go? Where did they go? Did they just retreat? Is this the Autobot motto? Is that when trouble strikes our leader, we just abandon him? I guess so. Okay. Number 5. Now here's something that it didn't bother me at first, but then I started noticing it more and more and more throughout the movie, and that is shifting aspect ratios. But you only get this when you watch the IMAX version of the IMAX presentation of Transformers Age of Extinction, and actually IMAX 3D presentation of Transformers Age of Extinction. Now, they didn't just shoot this with IMAX 3D cameras, they shot this with other cameras, okay? Like, for example, the Red Dragon, and maybe 5D Mark IIs, or 5D Mark IIIs, or some of their other cameras, like GoPros and like other high-definition cameras, right? But the fact is that they shot with a huge percentage which was IMAX 3D cameras. Now, when it's not an IMAX 3D camera, this aspect ratio shifts. So it's very distracting. Now, there are a lot of directors who know how to make a film shot with IMAX cameras, okay? and also incorporate regular cameras. One of them would be Christopher Nolan, all right? You don't even notice the aspect ratio changing, mainly because he does entire sequences with IMAX cameras, as opposed to what Michael Bay does, and that is he goes between IMAX camera to regular cameras in the close-ups. And because of that, you notice that the quality of the picture is not that good. Okay, especially during the Hong Kong scene, where during the Hong Kong chase scene, where the KSI guys, or rather the Sedimentary Wind guys, are going after Li Bingbing and Stanley Tucci, you notice a lot of shaky camera work. That wasn't through with IMAX 3D cameras, actually. That was with their regular cameras, handheld cameras that they use, because that way they can do the shaky camera work. And when you notice that, the 3D is gone. When you shake the camera like that, our eyes don't have time to interpret, or rather translate, the 3D imagery. So it's gone. It only looks nice when it is in IMAX 3D, or rather, it looks the nicest when it's in IMAX 3D. All right, so I really didn't like the shifting aspect ratios. The entire sequence should be in IMAX, okay? Not, you know, jumping in and out of like widescreen and full screen, widescreen, full screen, widescreen, full screen. It's really distracting, and he did that in Revenge of the Fallen, and you know, it only looked good when it was in full frame, but once it jumped back and forth, it really bugs me, it really distracts me, okay? Number 4 is the inclusion of supercars for the sake of including supercars. Now, what I mean by that is that during the making of Transformers Age of Extinction, there was a lot of supercars, and by supercars I mean exotics, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. There was the Cadillac CN. There was the Maseratis, Aston Martins, McLaren. Where are they all? Okay. I don't even know which one is which prototype, okay? The prototypes just came out of nowhere in robot form, but we never actually see a bunch of them transform from their supercar modes, all right? And I just felt that that was a really, really cheap way, like kind of a cop-out, because when we're watching the making of it from during the Hong Kong behind the scenes, you know, when they were filming in October of 2013, all right, we saw all these cars, we got super excited for them, and then after you're done watching the movie, you're thinking about, hey, where were they all? I didn't even see any of them except when they were just driving around, and having them drive around meant nothing, okay? But seeing them transform from a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a McLaren to something else makes us recognize them in the robot forms. You know what I'm saying? Because we can see all the car parts. But when you see the prototypes, you don't recognize any of them because you can't see the car parts and which robots are associated with which supercar. All right, so that was kind of like a cop-out to me. All right, kind of disappointing. Number 3 would be how they handled Galvatron. Okay. We knew that Galvatron was going to be in this movie, but we didn't know that there was going to be such a lack of Galvatron. All right, Galvatron, he appears, you know, in that chase scene. You know, we see him again when he activates the prototypes and brings them to life, and then we see him again in Hong Kong running around. Okay, it was cool that Frank Welker was voicing him. That was totally like nerdgasmic, but then, you know, we don't actually see a whole lot of Galvatron. Even when he was fighting with Optimus Prime, that wasn't really a great battle. That was a lot of shaky camera work, and it was more about Tessa running away from the battle as opposed to Optimus Prime and Galvatron fighting for the first time. As a matter of fact, once Optimus, he's driving, he gets shot by a missile, the guys fall out, he does the flip and transforms to robot mode. The next shot is suddenly Galvatron and Optimus are fighting. There's no continuity. There's no scene of Galvatron driving up and then transforming, walking up to Optimus and then having them fight, like you meeting face to face. Wouldn't it be cool if we saw a scene, if they made eye contact? He would be like, "You, I recognize you." Right? You know, something like that. It's just suddenly there's a lot of smoke and they're fighting in the background and the camera shakes everywhere. So I was really disappointed with the way they handled Galvatron. It could have been done a lot better. Okay? I do appreciate the fact that they included him, but, you know, that scene could have been improved so much more. Okay, number 2 is that the Dinobots came and they went. Alright? Now, I always knew that they were going to be saved for the third act of the film. It's just that you saved the best for last. But once they came, they weren't really a danger. You know what I'm saying? Like, they came, they destroyed all the prototypes, and then they were, like, totally overpowered. Even that whole sucking thing, that was kind of pointless. You know, lockdown ship suckage. You know, it was kind of pointless. Like, there was no force that would beat the Dinobots. Alright? You never see the Dinobots overwhelmed by prototypes. The Dinobots were totally overpowered. They came charging in, and then they walked back into China. They roamed back into China, and then they were done. Alright? I thought that the scene where they held the bridge was kind of pointless. Alright? When they went to the bridge, and then they said, let's hold the bridge! Alright? And then they transformed into robot mode. I was thinking that prototypes were going to be charging at them, so they had to fight on the bridge. But they didn't. They held the bridge for nothing. There was no threat. Alright? So the Dinobots were cool, but I thought we'd see a lot more. Okay? Number one, and now this is the biggest sin, okay, for a Transformers live action film, is the lack of transformations. I've already talked about this a lot, and you do not see a whole lot of transformations. I mean, you don't even see Hound transform. You see Bumblebee transform, but the first introduction of Bumblebee's transformation from his high-octane mode was a half transformation, and then suddenly he's in full transformation mode. You see Optimus transform in a couple of really awesome transformations, but afterwards there's this scene where he's really mad about Ratchet's death, and he goes from car, and then like the next shot is Mark Wahlberg, and the following shot afterwards is that he's already fully transformed. There's just not a whole lot of transformation. You don't even see Crosshairs transform. Drift transforms in a hidden way. You never see him go from Bugatti to Robot and Robot to Bugatti. It's always Robot to make-believe helicopter, to make-believe helicopter back to Robot. And it's always done in the distance or behind somebody, behind a robot. You know what I'm saying? It's not really seen in full because, you know, maybe ILM didn't have enough time or money to make that cool transformation. So that's really unfortunate, and that is the number one thing that I feel is wrong with Transformers Age of Extinction. The movie's called Transformers. There's a very huge lack of transformations. And to top things off, they had the way the prototypes transformed, or rather the man-made Transformers transformed, was really, really, I mean, it looked cool, you know, from a visual effects standpoint, but it's a Transformers film, and I would actually like to see car parts shift around to actually form a robot. I'd like to see where the car parts exist on the robots, as opposed to just, you know, just robots that look like the way they look for whatever reason, okay? So that's all I gotta say in this video. Once again, I found this movie superbly entertaining because I am a fan and I love a lot of the Transformers elements in the movie. But these are the things that I felt could have been done better. These are the top 10 things that I felt could have been done better. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this video. Now, like I said before, this is 2015. I'm not gonna leave this video on a negative note. That's why in my next video, I want you to stay tuned for that. I'm going to be talking about the top 10 things that I love about Transformers Age of Extinction. Now, I already made a top 10 list about Transformers Age of Extinction, and that is the top 10 favorite action sequences. Now, my top 10 things that I love about Transformers Age of Extinction won't just be action sequences. It'll be specific elements about the movie that I really, really love and enjoy. Alright, stay tuned for that video, and then after that video, I'm going to provide you my final thoughts about Transformers Age of Extinction as a whole. Alright, and that will be the final video for the web series TF4 Talk, and then we're going to talk about Transformers 5, we're going to talk about Transformers Robots in Disguise, we got a lot of giveaways to do, we also got, we got to review all those toys in my closet, we got to review them. Well, I'm not going to be able to review all of them, but I will review a lot of them because I know that's what you guys have been waiting for, alright? And of course, mail call, or Ragin Nation mail, and a lot of other stuff there is to talk about. So that's all I got to say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. And you can follow me on Instagram, @TheRaginNation. And I'll see you next time. Peace. Different. Transformers or robot interactions. Now, there was a lot of robot Galvatron interactions leading a whole, in this movie. There was a lot of robot dialogue with his vehicle mode that